Hello guys, welcome to IT Techie. So today we will going to see how to create a AWS VPC endpoint. So let's start now. First we need to create the VPC. Let's click on that create VPC. Give the name of that VPC called as my VPC. Give the IPv4 CIDR 10.0.0.0 slash. We'll select 16. Okay, because under 16 this subnet we will take another network. Okay, so now keep all other are like IPv6 CIDR you can keep as is. And now let's click on this create VPC. So we have successfully created the VPC. Now let's go and create subnet. So we require two subnet, one for private and another for public. So let's click on the create subnet. Select your VPC. Just now we have created my VPC. So select the same one. Now give the name called as public subnet. Select zone, under which zone you want to select this. So I'm selecting US East 1A. Okay, so same you can select it. You can select the block called as 10.0.0.0 slash. So under 16 how many it will come, 24, or we can select it. Sorry. Now let's click on create subnet. Now again create private subnet. Let's click on create subnet. Select our own VPC. Give the name of the subnet called as private subnet. Select the availability zone called as 1 because earlier public subnet we have selected under the 1A, so same we will select here. Now select your network 10.0.1.0/24 we will select because we have selected 16 by 16, right? So under that it will come this. So let's click on this create subnet. So now till now VPC we have created and subnet. Now let's go and click on create internet gateway. So let's click on internet gateway. Click on create internet gateway. Give the name my internet gateway. I am giving the same name and click on create internet gateway. Now go and click route table. We required only one route table. Okay, because we have only one public subnet. Let's click and give the name of that route table called as my route table. Okay, select your own VPC here and click on create route table. Okay, we have successfully created the route table as well. Now what we can do, let's click on this internet gateway. Select our internet gateway, and this one we need to attach this internet gateway to the VPC. So let's click on this attach VPC and select your own VPC. Now attach this internet gateway. Okay, so now we have to associate some subnet, right? So let's click on this subnet. Select the public subnet here. Okay, just a minute. So let's click on this create route table because we have to associate that. Select the my route table here. Let's give here. Let's click on edit routes. Now we have to give the path of internet called as 0.0.0.0/0. Select the internet gateway and you can select your internet gateway. So this one we have done it now. Okay, now another thing, we have to associate this one with a public. So let's click on subnet association. Let's click on edit subnet association. Select the public subnet association because here we no need to select the private subnet because private subnet will not go to internet. So we are selecting the public subnet. Let's click on save association. Okay, now this all the activity is done here. Now what we need to do, we have to create the Ec2 instance. So we require two Ec2 instance, one for private and another one for public. Let's click on this Ec2 instance. Let's click on these instances. launch instances. We'll select the Amazon Linux 2 AMI machine. Let's click on select. So we are using the free tier, so let's keep all as it is. Click on configure instance details. We are creating only one instance here, so I'm just selecting one. And here what we need to do, network my VPC, we need to select it here. Now it's came here private subnet, right? So if you select here private subnet, so no need to enable here the auto assign public IP, otherwise it will again create the public IP and it will work like a public subnet. Okay, I mean it will go to internet, so this server will not go to a internet gateway, so due to that we have selected the private subnet here. Now let's click and add storage. Now click on add tags. Let's give this name. What will give this name? We are using this for AWS endpoint purpose, right? So any name you can give it. Okay, I'm just giving for our understanding. Let's click on configure security group. If you want to create the new security group, you can create it. If you already security group, you can select on existing security group. Okay, so I'm creating the new security group. Let's add some other called as HTTP and HTTPS. Okay, that's all. And what else is required? There is nothing. Now let's click and review and launch instance. Click on launch. Now we can select the new, we can create the new, we can give here Linux key pair name, we will give the Linux key. Okay, and let's download that. Yes, we have successfully downloaded that, and let's click on launch instances now. Click on view instances. Okay, so here we can give name called as we will give this is a private. Let's click on save. Now let's click one more instance for public subnet. Select the same one. Click on configure instance details. Okay, now here you can see this network, we have to select our VPC, and here we have to select our public subnet. So this server will go to internet basically, and now here you can enable it. That's all, and you can click on add storage. This default mount point it is coming. Let's select that as it is, and you can give the name. This one name we can give like name public subnet, right? You can select here HTTP, launch it. So just now we have created one Linux, right? So same we can utilize here. I am using the same Linux key. Click on launch instances. Okay, we have successfully created two instances, EC2 instance, and also we have created the VPC. And now only one thing is required we need to do here. Let's go and click on endpoints. So we have to create endpoint. You can see guys here endpoint. Don't select the endpoint services. We only require the endpoint. Let's click on this endpoint. Click on the create endpoint. You can give this name called as AWS endpoint. AWS selected. So so here we have to communicate with S3 gateway, right? So we can search it here, S3. So you can see once you search it, this US East 1 S3, you have to select here gateway. You can see this name. Okay, let's select that and select your own VPC. Full access, and let's click on create endpoint. Okay, all we have done now. So now let's go and connect with the public subnet. Now you can see for public we have public IP address as well as private. If you select the private subnet, it is only have a private IP, right? It don't have a public IP v4 address. You can understand, because while creating that Ec2 instance, we selected the private. Due to that, it is not taking the public IP address. Okay, you just remember it here. So now let's go and connect with the public subnet. Copy the public IP address. Okay, so before that we have to convert that perm file. Okay, because just now we have downloaded that, so before that we have to convert into the ppk. So let's take that and let's click on download. If you see, if you once you click on here download and selected all files, you will get the linux perm file, right? Let's convert into the ppk. Save the private key, linux key, give the name of that called as linux key. That's all. And you can see, let's click on save button. So we have successfully converted. Now let's go and on Putty and copy that IP address here. Now let's click authorization and you can select the illness key. Just now we have created the same one. Click on open. Let's accept this. Now you know that we have for Linux we have default user called as Ec2 user. Let's click on that. Yes, we have successfully created. Let's go inside the yes, we have converted into a root user. Now what we need to do, we have to follow some couple of commands here. So now let's go and select, you can create one xyz perm. I'm just selecting the same one. Now what you need to do, whatever the file perm file which we downloaded, we have to copy the same one here. So click on the download here, open the perm file. We have to open under, let's open under the notepad plus plus. So you can copy this all guys, then paste it here. Okay, and you can just save this. We have successfully copied that. Now what we need to do, we have to follow one more step. Now you can give the full access, okay, for this perm file. You can see this is the created file we have. Now we have to give the full permission. You can see here there is no full permission for this file. Let's select here. 1 minute, it's not get copied, so I'm copying that. Select that. Now let's click on, and you can see you will get the full permission of this file, right? You can see guys, it's a full permission now. After that, what we need to do, then copy this one ssh xyz perm file to a and give the private IP of machine. What is the private IP? This is the private IP. Let's copy this. Select this. Let's click on ssh I xyz perm ec2 user @ private IP. Let's click on this. Yes. Select it. Yes. I'm unable to enter the proper values here. Let's click on again. Permission denied. Okay, once this done, let's click on this AWS configure. And now this key access ID, how we can do that? So here let's click on here, and here you can see security credentials. take that security credentials now. So guys, you can just select it here, create new access, download this key. Okay, the root key it is downloaded successfully. Let's close this and go over here and let's open this CSV file, which is just now we have downloaded. Okay, so what we need to do it here, you can see guys. So this is AWS key access ID, right? Let's copy this access key ID, paste it here. What we need to do again, we will try from initial level guys, it might you will get confused otherwise. So what we need to do it here, let's copy this. Instead of here we can type that private IP. Let's copy this private IP. @ yes. So guys, you can see that we came inside our private server, right? We first we have connected with the public IP. After that, from public IP we are connected with the private server. Now we came inside the private server. You can see it's the private IP, right? So what now next? So let's click on this copy and AWS configure. This command we need to execute. Let's check it. Okay. Yes. So here what we need to do? Let's copy that. This is the access. Let's copy this. Now let's copy that key also. Default region, nothing, it will take the default one. Now we have done this. Okay, so now here after what we need to do, let's check that AWS S3 whether it's available, anything default. Click on here. Yes, we have already one elastic beanstalk. This you can see guys, this is the one. We can see that one S3 bucket is available here. So let's go and check it that whether it is really available or not available. So let's select here. Ec2 is not Ec2, we have to select it here S3. Let's click on this S3. Yes guys, you can see that bucket name, same bucket name it is showing here in the console also. You can see guys, this is the bucket name, and here also you can see this is the bucket name. So it means from this console we are successfully connected, from public to private we are connected, and from this private we are able to see that this is the bucket name. Okay, so now next step, let's see, we need to create a one more bucket called as VPC. And so what we can do guys, one more create bucket we can utilize here. Give that name called as my VPC endpoint. ACL enabled, ACL disabled. Let's block all public access. Select here. It's supposed to be access everyone. And click on create subnet. Sorry, create bucket. Yes, so two bucket we have successfully created. One VPC, my VPC endpoint, and another one is the default one. So let's check whether it is really there or not. So how we can check? Let's copy this one, S3LS AWS, and select that. So guys, you can see here two endpoints. So here like that we have to connect with the S3 bucket from Ec2 instance without internet. So that's all. Thank you.